Om Sri Sai Ram, Premavahini, Chapter 62. Consider the name of the Lord as the breath of life. Of the various types of devotion, remembrance of the name Namasmarana is the best. In the Kali era Yuga, the name is the path for saving oneself. Jayadeva, Gauranga, Tyagara, Tukaram, Kabir, Ramdas, all these great devotees attained the Lord through just this one practice. Why speak of 1,000 things? Even Prahlada and Dhruva were able to enjoy the sight, touch, and conversation, darshana, sparshana, and sambhashana of the Lord through only repetition of the name, right? There can be no better path to liberation, mukti, than considering the name of the Lord as the very breath of life. And with complete faith in good deeds and thoughts, developing the spirit of service and equal love for all. Instead of this, if one sits in some solitary nook holding the breath, how can one master the innate qualities? How is one to know that one has mastered them? Devotion like Ambarisha and activities like Dhruva's, the combination of these two will result in the fate of Durvasa himself. At least in the end, Durvasa must fall at Ambarisha's feet. May you avoid becoming such Trishankas. May you experience the eternal truth and achieve the genuine state. Jai Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Ram, Premavahini, Chapter 63. Watch out for your own faults and cultivate the truthful and joyful. Every person is liable to commit mistakes without being aware of it. However, bright the fire or light, some smoke will emanate from it. So also, whatever good deed a person might do, mixed with it will be a minute trace of evil. But effort should be made to ensure that the evil is minimized, that the good is more and the bad is less. Naturally, in the present atmosphere, you may not succeed in the very first attempt. You must carefully think over the consequences of whatever you do, talk, or execute. In whatever way you want others to honor you, or to love you, or to behave with you in the same way, you should first behave with others and love and honor them. Then only will those honor you. Instead, without yourself honoring and loving others, if you complain that they are not treating you properly, it is surely a wrong conclusion. Besides, if those who advise others about which principles are right, which are true and good, which conduct is best, etc., would only follow the advice themselves, there would be no need to give the advice at all. Others would learn the lessons simply by example. Instead, Vedanta spoken parrot-like to others without any attempt to put it into practice in one's own conduct not only deceives others but is even worse. It deceives oneself. You must be as you want others to be. It is not the nature of a spiritual aspirant to search for faults in others and hide their own. If your faults are pointed out to you by someone, don't argue and try to prove that you are right, and don't bear a grudge against them for it. Reason out within yourself how it is a fault and set right your own behavior, rationalizing it for your own satisfaction or wreaking vengeance on the person who pointed it out. These are certainly not the traits of a spiritual aspirant or devotee. The spiritual aspirant should always seek the truthful and joyful, and must avoid all thoughts of the untrue, sad, and depressing. Depression, doubt, conceit, these are as Rahu and Ketu to the spiritual aspirant. They will harm one's spiritual practice. When one's devotion is well established, they can be easily discarded if they appear. Above all, it is best for the spiritual aspirant to be joyful, smiling, and enthusiastic under all circumstances. Even more than devotion and spiritual wisdom, this pure attitude is desirable. Those who have acquired it deserve to reach the goal first. This quality of joy at all times is the fruit of the good done in past births. A person who is ever worried, depressed, and doubting can never attain bliss. Whatever spiritual practice is done, the first task of a spiritual aspirant is the cultivation of enthusiasm. Through that enthusiasm, any variety of spiritual bliss, ananda, can be derived. Never get inflated when praised or deflated when blamed. Be a spiritual lion. Regardless of both, analyze yourself and correct your faults. This is most important. Jai Sai Ram. Om Sri Sai Ram. Premavahini, chapter 64. Stick to the name and form of the Lord you adore. Now, one has to be careful even in matters relating to the realization of God. Whatever inconveniences one may encounter, one must try to carry on spiritual practices without any break or modification in the disciplines. One should not be changing the name that one has loved and cherished and selected for remembrance smarana. Concentration is impossible if the name is changed once every few days. The mind won't attain one-pointedness. All spiritual discipline has this one-pointedness as its ultimate aim. Therefore, avoid constant adoption and rejection of names and forms of the Lord. One single name must be used throughout for repetition of the name, japa, and meditation. One has also to get the strong conviction that all the Lord's names and forms are but the name and form that one is repeating. That name and form must not give the slightest feeling of dislike or disaffection. Taking all worldly losses, sufferings, and worries as merely temporal and transitory, and realizing that all this repetition of the name and meditation is only to overcome such grief, the spiritual aspirant should keep the two things separate without mixing up that with this and this with that. The aspirant must understand that loss, suffering, and worry are external, belonging to this world, and the repetition of the name and meditation are internal, belonging to the realm of the love for the Lord. This is called chaste patirvrata devotion. The other variety, where the spiritual aspirant select one name and one form and after some time discard them for another name and form, is called unchasti, Vibhichara devotion. Changing the name and form is not a fault if it is done in ignorance, but having once known that it is wrong and harmful, and after continuing repetition of the name and meditation on the one name and form faithfully, subsequently changing them is wrong. Sticking faithfully to the name and form is the highest woe, the highest austerity. Even if elders advise you, don't give up the path approved by your mind. Of course, which elder would suggest that you should change the name of the Lord and give up the name that you adore? Consider those who tell you to do So not as elders, but as dullards. As far as possible, see that the time and place of meditation and repetition of the name are not changed and shifted. For example, while traveling, keep the time unaltered even if it becomes necessary to change the venue. At the specified time, at least recall to mind the meditation repetition of the name done at the same time in the past. Even if we are in a railway train, bus, or some such inconvenient surroundings. In this way, accumulating spiritual wealth, one can surely become the master and attain the Atma. Jai Sai Ram.